Good morning, friends. It's Nancy, and the birds have it. We had a little vote on which book you wanted to see me do the complete start to finish process of a Nancy style journal. This is the one that was chosen. So, there is a lot of problems with this book. The corners are kind of dodgy. There's some stains. This looks terrible. The marks on this cover, the fabric has been worn right down to the chipboard. It's an old book. What did we say it was? 1900? Yeah, 1900. So there's a lot of repairs to be made. I think this is a good example. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to cut out the text block. That's what this part of the book is called, is the text block. And we're going to either repair, remove, replace the spine. So let's get started. This one is going to be very easy because the text block is almost completely out of this anyway. It's been torn away. This is the gauzy kind of stuff that adheres the text block. Now, if the book you're using is not falling apart, you're going to have to be very, very careful cutting out the text block, because you don't want to do any damage to the spine. And believe me, I have damaged spines. So this paper here, you can see there's glue and this gauze. This is all glued to the back of each signature. So that's how that's constructed. When we do our signature in our text block, it will be something similar. Okay, so I'm going to just lift this right out. There we go. Okay, I'm going to I would love to be able to keep this. I don't know if I can though. So I'm going to just tear out the gauze. That's just plain old garbage. I don't know if I'm going to be able to save that or not. Because I'd love to be able to put the sticker back to keep that in a place of honor. Okay. This liner can come right out. I'm going to measure it though, because I want the spine to be the exact same dimension. If I wanted to make a smaller spine or a bigger spine, I could cut the spine right out and create a new one. But I'm going to make it the same size. So I think this is probably in the neighborhood of 2 inches. Yeah, it's 2 inches. Okay. And the height of the book is 9. Oh, nice round numbers. So spine is 2 inches by 9 inches. This is all going to be covered over, so I don't mind using it to keep some notes. Okay. So let's turn this over. Now sometimes I can use an eraser to take some marks off. So this white one, I'm just using a white eraser, not a pink gum one. That's the only one that really troubled me. I don't mind these brown ones. Okay. So, the corners are kind of messed up. I could put book corners on here after I've done some of the construction of the book covers and put the inside cover, you know, the paper that goes inside. I could put book covers on, or book corners on. I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't mind a messy cornered book. It's 100 years old, 124 years old actually. But this is going to be problematic. So I think what I want to do is first I'm going to make a new curved spine. So I'm going to just move this out of the way. And I've got just some file folder here. And I'm going to cut it the same size as this paper. So it's 9 inches tall. And I will cut you can use your trimmer. I know the vast majority of crafters, paper crafters, use a trimmer. I have never found one that I like. I even tried the new Tim Holtz one. Don't like it. I tried it out in the store and didn't buy it. Okay. In order to make the round spine, I have an old rolling pin. I've just unscrewed the handles. I'm going to use pantyhose and Fabri-Tac. So I just thinned this out a bit. I'm gonna get some scrap paper here so I don't mess up my board any more than it already is. So it's going to run pretty good today because it's been thinned down. I'm just going to use my silicone brush as soon as I locate it, just to spread out the glue. Okay, now this next part you have to do while this is still wet and it feels cold. I'm gonna grab some rubber bands. Now when you put this down, make sure that this is straight. The risk is if it's not straight, you'll twist your spine. You don't want to twist your spine. Looks good. Okay, now I'm going to take, this is just a knee-high stocking, and I'm going to wrap this, oop, just about knocked myself out cold. I'm going to wrap this stocking right around. Just keep giving it a little tug. Keep it nice and tight. And then, there we go. I'm going to set this aside. Typically, I will let this dry overnight. Back to this cover. I'm definitely going to need to replace this whole cover with some fabric. There's no reason for me to leave this spine in, but I'm going to anyway, because typically I would leave the spine and would not cover up the spine, but this one is way too far gone. So I'm going to get some fabrics and we'll start trying to repair this. All right. I thought briefly about this one because this stripe is exactly 2 inches. So the gold sort of stitchy like things there, that would kind of go in the gutter, and then These two dark brown would come up onto the book, the cover, and you know, that green is a really good match for that green. There's some gold in there. That's what I initially, okay, I won't say I initially thought this. I thought this was a possibility. Let me show you what I'm going to use. Is this one. Little less in your face. It's not vintage, but it has a vintage look. The tones of the greens and the gold, they're a good match. They're not exactly the same, but has the same feel. So this is the one I'm going to go with. Now, this is a critical piece. If you're using fabric in your book, please take 5 minutes to iron it. I am horrified every time I watch a video with very, very, very good book constructors, journal construction techniques, and they just whip out the fabric and there's great big lines in it and it's wrinkled and it's a mess. I can't do it. Just take the 5 minutes it takes to iron out that fold line. I'm going to iron this and I'll come back. Okay, I've cut a piece. I think it's 3.5 inches. So 3/4 of an inch on either side larger than the spine. And I sort of centered it so this flower, this big bouquet would be in the center. And now I'm trying to decide, do I want the big bouquet centered? Or do I want it more... Let's look at this. And remember, this is much wider than it's going to be when I have it done. I feel like I want it like that. So I'm going to cut this about 11 inches, so an inch longer than I need it. So I'm going to put 5.5 right there in the center. I'm going to have lots of leftovers to make pockets. I think I have a chunk long enough, big enough to make the end papers as well, which is something I almost always do, is use fabric for the inside covers. Okay. Now, let's imagine what this would be like. It's not going to be that wide, but let's imagine what this would look like if I had a little bit of lace. I may even be able to take a little bit off this side. Yeah, I don't even know why I'm questioning it. Of course we need lace. I love to use textiles, lace and fabric and doilies and ribbons and all that good stuff. And the older the better. Let's grab some lace. Okay, I got a couple things pulled out here. This is a machine-made lace, but it is vintage. Not bad, not bad. I also got out this like Greek key sort of lace, and I thought just about using the outer edge of it. Not bad. have this lace. Again, I would just use the edge of it. I like it, but I would hate to use the end. This is all I have of this. I would hate to use this all up and lose all of that. So it's an option, but it's a painful option. And I also have some tatting. Lay down, you. Well, I have to say, it's between this one and this one. What do you think? I think I'm going to go with this one. Okay. Now whether I will tuck this under. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Okay. Make sure I have enough for both edges. Barely. I barely have enough. So I can't make any errors. And I do need to press it. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this lace like so along that raw edge, and I'm going to stitch this, and then once it's stitched, I'll flip that over and press it. And that way I won't have a raw edge of the fabric. Okay. I do think I'm going to need to cut some of the spine away. But let's start with the first piece of lace. Take a look at it and then judge how much I want to take off the other side. Okay. So I've pressed that seam over, and I think I'm gonna line it up pretty much with this gutter here. It's not a gutter, it's a hinge or a join. I've got some links on my Pinterest board for under Wishes and Weeds, February 2024 links, so you can refer to some websites if you want to learn more about the terms used in book making, book binding. Okay, so I think maybe I'm only going to take off about 1/4 of an inch. I think that's going to be fine. Whoops. This is a rotary cutter. This one's made by Olfa. The 28mm blade one I don't think is as popular as it once was. You can get smaller, you can get bigger, but it's the 28mm one that I like the best. Okay, I'm gonna sew this bit on. Okay. The last thing I'm concerned about today is that this color is too light and the dark spine is going to show through. So I've just torn a piece of fabric slightly narrower than the spine, and this is just a page protector. I'm going to put my book on top of the rolling pin, because when I glue this on, it'll get, you know, pretty crisp. So I want to sort of maintain that roundness. However, this little folded ends are making it troublesome. Okay. I'll make sure it's straight. Using a silicone makeup brush to spread my glue. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to touch the stem, I'm just going to see how that brightens up that background a bit by having a light fabric behind it, as opposed to being on the green or the brown. So that just brightens that fabric up, makes it look a little thicker, more expensive, I think. All right, this is a good place to stop for today. I hope you thought this was interesting. I'm going to try to keep all of the videos under 30 minutes, and I'm going to try to space them, let's say, 3 days apart, and that way you get a chance to see the video and follow along and then get a break. All right, thanks so much for joining me. Come back, follow my channel so that you don't miss any of the steps here, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.